niggas on it. They used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it. Y'all's the hater and all of my moves, but now niggas on it. They used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it, your homies on it.
That always just like, it just always throws us. We asked for it, it still throws us off.
I'm never ready.
Never ready for the clap. It's so abrupt. What up, what up? We back, man. The realest podcast ever. I'm your host, C. Diddy.
That makes me sick.
We got a special guest in the building, man. We're going to keep this thing rolling for Women's History Month. It's actually International Women's Day, and we want to make sure that we are representing properly and putting a light on people that's tearing the world up and blazing their own trail and doing things their own way. Today's guest is a curator, fashion designer, brand owner, stylist, and all-around creative. Her brand, Lulu James, was recently featured at Meth Eater's New York Fashion Week runway to an amazing reception, and her stylist work has been seen on some of the biggest celebrities in the world. TRP Nation, give it up for Devon Milan.
Hi, guys.
Can't hear the claps, but it's claps. Clapping for you.
Hey, guys.
What's good? How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
We appreciate you joining us today. We know you're super busy. Literally just came from a meeting. You working, you traveling, brand building. So we definitely appreciate the time. I know I did a brief intro with some of your highlights, but it's a lot more to your story. We're going to ask a bunch of different questions, throw some topics at you, and just try our best to tell the story. Tell the audience, I guess kind of starting off, let the audience know a little bit more about yourself, where you from, how you grew up, and then we're going to really, get with the business.
Okay, I am Philadelphia born and raised. I'm actually from Uptown, but I'm kind of like new from ATL.
Okay.
Because I went to school and eventually moved to the suburbs, which no one knew. But I was building a name for myself in the city.
Got it.
So I started off actually a fashion baby. My parents are celebrity designers. They have a business called Rodeo Kids, which is one of the longest standing black businesses on South Street. We recently we recently just closed down last year.
Okay.
Just to revamp, open up a new showroom. That's when we introduced Lulu James. But I grew up a fashion baby, always at the exclusive shows. When Big Scott used to do the celebrity fashion shows.
Oh man, shout out Big Scott.
Big Scott, Stephanie Kane. And my parents are very, very, very good friends with Dapper Dan as well. Dapper Dan's like a mentor to her. So, just growing up in the fashion industry, I've always knew that I would be somewhat in fashion or entertainment, but I really didn't know where, to what extent exactly. Like when growing up, I really wasn't into design. I was around it, but it wasn't nothing that really captivated me. So I actually went to school to be a lawyer, to be honest. I went to Penn State and Lincoln. I studied pre-law and political science. Mm-hmm. And I would say my junior year is when I dropped out, and I was just like, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I want to be in fashion, but I just got to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So, it kind of went from there. Once I left school, I always said I was going to go back, but I started doing internships in New York, and I ended up having the opportunity to work with Michael Costello. So that was actually like one of my first jobs, and just kind of threw me into the world. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what my position was called. But once an opportunity comes, you just got to run with it.
Can I ask a question real quick since you brought it up? You said you interned in New York.
Yeah.
What I always hear this intern in the what does an intern do in the fashion world?
Intern, pretty much, they give you a title, but you're really just the runner for whatever they need there, and you're working for free.
So does it have to do with like actual fashion stuff, or is it just
So when I came on board, they said that they were just looking for a Fashion Week intern. So normally during Fashion Week, designers will come, they will get as many people that could work for free, and they'll just delegate tasks. Okay. And if those people fall off, they'll just bring someone else in. But yeah, pretty much I was paying to work for somebody.
Right.
Because
you got to get up, travel, go to New York and all of that.
Get up, travel, go to New York. If I had to stay out there, which at that time I was broke, so I couldn't afford a hotel. So I'm literally going back and forth. And during that time, My mom, she actually works for Amtrak. That was a side job just so we can get around.
Yeah.
So we had that Amtrak train pass. So
Yeah.
that really
Crucial.
saved my life a lot.
Yeah.
But
Still got that?
yeah, literally.
I might need.
Oh,
I
yeah,
might
all
need
you
to-
gotta
holla
do,
at mom.
yeah.
I need to go to New York or something.
So,
Look at Dan.
literally, that was a big sacrifice. Literally. But yeah, I would go work for people for free. Literally, my first was actually opened the door for me to work with Michael Costello. I ended up working for like a smaller designer, which you just so happen to have connections.
Yeah.
But when I came there, I was hungry. I was filling gift bags, lining up tables, lining up chairs, whatever I saw that I could be an asset, even though that was not what I was really there for. I wanted to get my hands on the clothes and really get in the field.
Yeah.
But when he saw how hungry I was, he literally said to me, "I'm gonna give you good karma." And I didn't understand what that meant. I really didn't. This is before the woke era.
Yeah.
So I really didn't. I'm like, good karma, you know. But he was like, "I'm gonna give you good karma," and that's when he opened the door for me to work with Michael Costello, and that was the real deal. Like that's what you see on Sex and the City, what you see on Vogue when they say "Under the Tent."
Yeah.
That was that show where I think that year Chris Brown and Karrueche were front row. Paris Hilton opened the show. So I went from doing literally the day before
Doing busy work to
setting up chairs to now they're asking me, what does this person wear? So, you know, it kind of threw me in there. And they always say once a mind is stretched, it can't go back to its old dimension. So from me seeing that experience and that, just seeing like this is real, it made me really want to go full throttle and, you know, really see what this styling world was about.
So once you were, immersed in this world, what particular aspects of the fashion world did you take to or be more interested in than others? Was it like the design part? Was it styling? Was it fabrics? Like what particular elements of it, or was it just like you were just getting a crash course in everything?
See, I grew up around design. You know, my parents have done customs for, like I said, some of the biggest stars in the world. Like my birthday party was backstage at Hot 97's Summer Jam. So I was always around it, but I wanted to find my niche. So seeing the design aspect and being very knowledgeable of fabrics at a very young age, it opened the door for me to really want to indulge in what else is there.
Yeah.
So, you know, my parents were designers, and yes, I mean, they've done BET Awards, so many amazing things, but I wanted to see, how do I get on music video sets? You know, how can I go to these award shows? Who's dressing these people for the red carpet? And a lot of the stylists from Philly, at that time, there really wasn't many, and the ones that have made it, they adopted a new city. So there was really no one there to really help guide me and show me. There's no, you know, you can go to school for fashion, but there is no class on how to be a stylist.
Exactly.
So it was, okay, I used to call myself a fashion coordinator. I didn't know what the hell it was. It sounded good. I felt like I was coordinating fashion, but real life, I was a creative director.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would be the one that would bring all the people together. I had assets and resources from my parents being designers, so I had access to clothes. And I would be the one that would bring the photographer, cast the models, you know, find the location. And then when it came to, okay, who's going to style these clothes, there was nobody really there. Or I would bring someone and they would call themselves a stylist, but, you know, they really didn't get my vision. So it went to me having to say, all right, maybe styling there's a niche for it. You know, there's strategy to everything that I do.
Right.
So I'm like, there's a lot of Philly designers, there's a lot of people that's moving, but there's no one that's actually styling. So I started to investigate, and I went to Google University, and I started to research what a stylist was. Because one thing about me, I don't ever want to call myself something that I don't deserve that title for.
Absolutely.
So it went from research to coming on these sets and just seeing how things maneuver. I never really got a chance to actually work under a stylist. Mm-hmm. Never.
Yeah.
My first job was the Meek Mill Monster video, and I got thrown into it. So everybody,
What video?
Meek Mill Monster video.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first job. Literally, I was doing little basement projects in Philadelphia. I used to call people and ask could I style them for free, and they still was like, no,
Nah, good.
no. So literally,
How you get this number?
Exactly, real rap. No, so I was grateful for the little up and coming rappers and the people that was just like let's just do it. But my god brother is Spike Jordan.
That's my dog. That's my guy.
That's my god brother. So he called my mother actually for the project, and literally she was like, she didn't, she's in another room. She's like, what? A music video? Who? No, I don't have time. Ask
Right.
Devon. Devon says she's a stylist.
Yeah.
So she was like, you said you want to be a stylist, right? Well, here you go. And I'm talking about no idea what I was doing. This is where it was just like, like that Rocky moment, that was that do or die, like how you see in the movies. So it was literally like, figure it the fuck out.
So I always went in the impression that like a stylist just like picks clothes out for somebody. Is that what it is?
No.
Okay, so I was.
I
just figured that it's a rack. Stylist is like this shirt, them pants, them.
Yeah,
shoes.
that's the easy part. That's like the day of. Literally, styling it's a 3-step process. First, you have to source the clothes. No, first is then you have to investigate. I got to look at you, and if I'm a good stylist, I'm going to do my research on the client first. Okay. So I'm going to research who you worked with in the past, what you're looking at now, and then also I'm going to research your target audience. And what I do, I work with a lot of musicians. Okay. So I listen to the music. I listen to, if I'm a consumer, how would I want this artist to dress? What does his music make me feel, he or she? Then it goes into now sourcing the clothes. Now, a lot of the times it's easy. When you're working with a Cardi B or a Nicki Minaj, you can call anyone. I could call Balenciaga right now. I'm doing Nicki. And full throttle, you'll have full access. But when you're working with a new artist, and during that time, Meek was very new, P&B Rock was very new, they don't care. They're like, oh, you work with that rapper? Okay. And this is also before that era. Yeah. And this is also before, and this was also before social media was really a big thing where influencers were wearing brands and, doing promo. So it was more so the brand was bigger than the artist.
I see what you're saying.
Versus what it is now. So now we have to go and literally with some artists, when I work with new artists, I have to almost be a publicist. I have to create a one sheet. Sell them this artist as if I'm their manager, just to get them on board, and then that's when you get access to the clothes.
So, you when you say source the clothes, does the stylist actually pay for clothes, or are they just sending?
Sometimes, I mean, if we get a budget. Most of the time, like the budgets aren't how they used to be back in the day. Okay. When Jay and Puff was coming up, they used to have $25,000 and $50,000 budgets. Foxy Brand was able to go to Fendi and buy $5,000 to $10,000, $11,000 furs. Okay. Nowadays, these labels are saying, okay, for this video, we're going to give you $2,000, and then you have the artists or $2,000 to $5,000, depending on what their budget is. Sometimes some artists.
So a Big Dawg getting $5,000, like the $5,000 is like the high, unless you're getting into the upper stratosphere.
Yeah, like I would say, like the Cardi B's, the Nicki Minaj's and stuff. A lot of their budgets are from 10 to 20, even 50, depending on the project, the song. Yeah. But when you're getting with a lot of like these new artists, how you see that are coming out right now that are popular, but the budgets aren't there. So yeah, the label, like I said, they'll say, okay, we're going to allot $2,000. Now you have a smart artist or an artist that has capital that really wants to invest in it. They'll say, I'll match the label. But a lot of the times, that's what the budget is. So you either have a stylist that has resources, that has a great reputable name, that can now go to these showrooms and say, okay, we're going to pull in $30,000 to $40,000 worth of clothing and make this something. Or you'll have some stylists that they got to work with that $2,000 and they're going to pull in whatever personal items they have. They go and buy and return. They got to figure it out. But luckily with
Like
me,
bare feet still over
real rap. So I mean, like stylists, to be honest, we're almost like magicians. If I'm turning literally a $2,000 to $3,000 budget, and I'm walking in with $50,000 worth of garments,
That's
and
magic.
Not only am I walking in with $50,000 worth of garments, but some of these items are not only just being worn for a photo shoot for a couple hours. No, these people are performing in it. Right. They are sweating in it. They are walking in it. Their outfits are being exposed to the public.
You gotta get that dirt bike smoke out of there.
Out of the car. They're in the dressing room smoking weed, you know. So it's a lot of different factors that go into being a stylist, and also too with being a stylist, you are the one that is putting your credit card up most of the time. Yeah. You're putting.
That's why I was
you put your name up, even if they don't swipe it at that moment, God forbid
something
this
don't get
comes
returned
back.
the right way.
I had to deal with that recently with one of my clients, and then he actually handled the clothes. He handled the clothes with care, but his chain was so big and no, of course no fake. No.
Big ass green line on it.
No, it was not fake. It was the complete opposite. It was so damn big and had so many different, just structures and detail to it that it snagged the sweater. So now this is a $3,000 sweater that just because this chain snagged it, now
Break
we're
it, you
stuck
bought
with
it.
Yeah, now we're stuck with it. Well, he bought it, so now it's his. Yeah.
I thought you might have been selling on discount.
Like, congratulations, you're now the owner of that nice sweater you wore in the video.
Real rap. That's really how it goes. So that's another thing. Like, I have a great rapport with my clients. I've never, by the graces of God, I've never been in a situation where I was stuck where a client stole something or stuck in that matter. But it gets crazy.
It gets sticky. So, some advice for people that might be like aspiring stylists and stuff like that. How do you curate relationships with these different brands and these brand houses and stuff to be able to get in a position to be able to pull product like that? Because I think that's the biggest barrier to entry for a lot of people. They don't even know where to start. Yeah.
I mean, as a good people, like I said, the misconception is people think that we just bring clothes to the table. Outside of me just being able to facilitate these clothes and put looks together, I am an asset to my team overall. Not only am I an asset to the team, but I'm an asset towards the brand. I am a stylist is that happy liaison between the artist and the brand. So let's say if you're an artist and let's say he's Fashion Nova. If he reaches out to you, you're going to say, all right, for me to wear this stuff, you got to cut me 10 grand. Okay. But if you have a great relationship with that stylist, this is my stylist. I have a trust factor where this girl sees me in my drawers. So she sees me in the most intimate moment. So that trust factor is there. Now she comes to me and it's like, Fashion Nova came to us. Not only they want to see this, but now we can come and maybe come counteract or come with them with the whole a different deal where now we can create a brand partnership. Okay. Now we can have you create a capsule collection where you design for Fashion Nova, you're getting free packages, and now we're going to expand the brand. So it's a happy median for both parties. So now Fashion Nova is happy, you're happy, and now the stylist looks great for making it happen. So a one-time transaction is now a partnership. Right. So a lot of the times what I try to say to other stylists, you got to come in, one, do the research. That's the biggest thing, because if you're not signed to an agency and you're a freelancer, you got to go find your own work. Meaning that if you don't hustle, you don't eat.
That's a fact.
And that's one of the biggest things. People don't realize. They think, oh, I'm going to do Kanye, I'm going to do Coi Leray, and I want to put this on Instagram, and they're going to tag me, and I'm going to blow. Absolutely not. or I want to work with Coi Leray, and she's going to lock me in forever, and I'm going to be the next Roach and Zendaya. Absolutely not. That takes work. You have to show that rapport. Nowadays, by there being so many flyby celebrity this. Everyone's a celebrity something. Yep. A celebrity book. I'm a celebrity promoter. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Celebrity librarian.
This, celebrity that. With everyone now working with one celebrity and now adopting that title, it has watered down the game. The game is watered down. Yeah. So now these brands is like, okay, all right, we see you got 100,000 followers. Okay, you might have worked up with him, but what's next?
Yeah.
What now can we turn those likes into dollars? What's that conversion? And people forget that. Like I said, yes, putting fashion and getting in the fashion industry is amazing, but you have to be able to adopt other hats to actually have longevity in this shit.
Absolutely.
I started off putting together clothes, and now I'm brokering deals. I just brokered a huge deal for Coi Leray.
Congratulations.
Literally.
That's dope.
Yellow button.
Literally, $42,000 just for her to sit front row at a fashion show and perform at their after party.
Yeah.
And she also got clothing and a collaboration with them.
So she got a deal out of it outside of the appearance fee. Yeah.
Exactly. And that was not for her to, she didn't have to go through anything where she has to have major security. This is fashion.
Yeah.
You know, so she's literally at the Ritz-Carlton sitting front row and performing the song that she performs almost every day.
Exactly.
One song. So, you know, when you come to the table bearing gifts, or when you are the table, that's when these people are saying, okay, now she's an asset.
Yeah.
Now now she's that liaison. Now we can call her. Not only can we have her put pieces on our clients, but now she can bring her clients to us, and now we can create partnerships and have longevity. And that's the biggest thing with this.
That's big. You touched on the economy and like the fashion stuff, and the fact that like now you've ascended past a stylist to a level of a creative director, but also a trusted voice for your clients and for brands. And now you're brokering deals. So now you're a broker on top of everything else. Talk about a lot of the money that's in this fashion world, and how like you got people like Ian Connor and Luka Sabbat and stuff like that that are known, but not really. Like people in the world know them, but average everyday people are just kind of like, oh yeah, that's the guy that be with Rocky, or the guy that be with so-so, but they mega millionaires.
So even with like Luka, Luka's a prime example, because I actually, during my days coming up, he was coming up as well. So we've crossed paths multiple times. But Luka started off as an intern for V-Files. So V-Files, if I know you guys saw the Thug cover when he had that dress and that umbrella. Mm-hmm. So V-Files was a platform. They were almost like an Instagram for fashion in a way. Yeah. So you were able to upload photos, create a profile, upload photos, and identify who you were by, you know, your profession. So if you were a stylist, you would upload, it would say stylist underneath your name. Yeah. Photographer, or sometimes you can even be a fan and just come on and spectate. So every year, V-Files would do a show called the Made Fashion Show, where they would select one person from each category. They will bring on celebrity mentors, Tommy Hilfiger, Dapper Dan, Naomi Campbell, and they would pretty much have these mentors mentor these new creators, and they will put on a A1 fashion show with nothing but celebrities in the runway. So they broke people. So Luka was literally an intern at V-Files that took his opportunity of being around, just being exposed. And that's why I try to tell people, once you're exposed to certain things, once you put yourself in certain realms, certain things will attract to you. You will never find filet mignon where they only serve hamburger helper. So right now, Luka is around the Kardashians. He's around Thug. He's around the owner of the company was the editor in chief of V Magazine. Mm-hmm. You know, so just by him being exposed to those things, he was able to strategize and figure out how I can take this to the next level. So people already like me because I'm popular. Right. They already like me just because I'm popular and associated with this brand. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to become a stylist. I'm going to be a stylist for the brand, and they had their own merch. So every time a celebrity will come in, they're already hype on this brand. So every time they will come in, he's styling them. Mm-hmm. So now he's styling them, he's putting on his page, so now people are now recognizing him. So now it's like, oh, that's Luka. Even though Luka didn't have to put in the work to have to source the client or have to get signed, they're coming to him.
Still made the most of the opportunity.
He made the most of the opportunity, where a lot of people don't. So many people have opportunities in front of them, and they don't even do the proper research just to figure out what they're doing, what's it actually called. Mm-hmm. You know, so he took advantage of the opportunity, started to become a stylist, then started to build himself up in the midst of it. So now he went from stylist to now influencer. And then from there, it went.
TV, movies,
now he's exactly creative. He creates direct, he models. He's done so many different things, but it's all about taking advantage of these opportunities. People get presented with these opportunities and they pray for them, but they're not ready.
Yeah.
This is Luka who?
Luka Sabbat.
Sabbat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was on
he's on Grownish. Yeah, he started off as an intern
Which one on Grownish?
He's the
with the hair.
with the hair,
Oh, okay,
light skin,
okay.
clean
Okay,
face,
Yeah.
Yep.
Parisian mustache hair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
With the influencer thing, when did it shift where all of these like Instagram influencers have all these partnerships and stuff now?
It's been
Before that used to seem like it was like celebrity, like actual real deal, like athletes, actors, all of that you see in these magazines and all these different things.
So think about it. Athletes and actors, they need a huge production to be able to put these things together. You don't see Denzel Washington putting together an Old Spice commercial in his house.
Right.
These influencers have now changed the tide where, oh, you guys actually like content that's not super clean. It doesn't have to be shot with a red camera. You guys accept a cell phone.
Yeah.
So now we can sell product with a cell phone.
Right.
An influencer can prop their phone up here, and say, hey, I got these glasses from Solstice. That just cut out the middleman of having to get a stylist, rent a studio, having to bring in a director, having to hire actors. This is all done right from your cell phone. So now it's like, boom, cut these creatives checks because they have 1 million followers from doing what? And then also another thing with an influencer is going to do what a celebrity won't. There's certain influencers there's a couple influencers that you remember that started from the bottom. There's a couple people that you seen that was like doing some shit, and now, we see you now on TV. Well, let's not forget.
Just getting it popping.
Prime example, Cardi B. She's the beauty of it. I watched, and I love Cardi. I remember when I first started getting on Instagram, and Cardi was the crazy girl that was on Instagram screaming, saying funny, crazy things. And even though it was very vulgar, it was hilarious.
Right.
You know, it was her. Right. She was in the projects. She was just her. It went from being that crazy girl on Instagram, just talking about her experiences, being her, to now going to Love and Hip Hop. So now we see, damn, that's the girl from Instagram. Now we see on Love and Hip Hop. And then one thing about it, too, is people know how to capitalize off their fan bases. They don't know their target audience. Cardi B's target audience was always the Love and Hip Hop crowd. So now they're like, damn, I remember I used to watch her on Instagram. I followed her. Maybe she followed me back or liked something. Now she's on TV. And then she utilized that platform of being on TVs. I'm going to still be that crazy girl, but now I'm going to make a song. Then she made a popping song. And then what made her Cardi B today, we're going to take this girl that was considered a stripper, was considered classless from the Bronx projects, and we're now going to get a stylist that's going to dress her like Jackie O. Cardi B is dressed like Jackie O.
That's a fact.
Something that where most people would have put her, dressed her like the City Girls or Nicki with the bodysuits.
When
no.
you say Jackie O, you talking about Jacqueline Onassis.
Yeah, yes.
Not the rapper from Miami.
No, yes, the real Jackie.
Jacqueline Onassis Kennedy.
Yes, Jackie, yes. So you have someone that was considered, like I said, a stripper, the bottom of the barrel, that is now sitting front row next to Anna Wintour. And this is all based on
Cover of
influence.
Italian Vogue, the whole nine.
Based on influence. So now this shows that everything that we were taught growing up, that you had to have a certain body type, you had to be from a certain background. Even nowadays too, you see so many people that are disabled, that are plus size, that are different things that we would have considered alternative. Is now the faces of these brands.
Big and Talls. We can get into that later.
But yeah.
So to that point, do you feel like now, because there's no set like archetype of how you got to look or how you got to be built, whatever like that, are the lines now blurred on like what is high fashion, what's streetwear, what's this, what's that? Like, are we kind of like obliterating a lot of these categories now?
I mean, for sure. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think a lot of this stuff has changed the game. I mean, like I said, but it's changed the game in so many ways. You don't have you don't have, and we probably won't have for a very long time, have a supermodel on the level of Naomi Campbell, Kate Moss, Tyra Banks.
Yeah.
You know, that has now been out the window with a lot of, you know, like I said, a lot of different factors. I love the fact that it's accepting. What I do love about everything being accepting is it gives people no excuse. So for the people that used to complain and say, oh, I'm too big to be a model or to be in fashion, or I'm too short, or because I have a disability, people overlook me. Now it's no excuse.
It's all out the window.
It's here.
I feel like there are a couple that are up there. I don't necessarily know if they up there at Tyra Banks level, The girl with the face.
I mean, Winnie of
Harlow.
course, Winnie Harlow. But what I mean by like Kate
I don't
Moss,
know the right term.
Kate Moss, Tyra Banks, they were icons. Like
Okay, I see what
this
you're
was iconic. Like the world of that supermodel was you had to look like this, you had to be like this. If you weren't, a size 0 or -0, you were considered fat. Like when you watch Devil Wears Prada, that's really how it is. Nowadays, things have gotten more accepting. But what I love about it being more accepting is now there is no excuse for people to say, I can't.
Exactly.
Are there still big like men models?
Yeah, there's no, as far as like male models, like Tyson Beckford's and all
That's what I
that,
was about to say.
not really. There's like one little dude that
Tyson Beckford was the male model for Big and Tall Polo. I remember like
everything.
It's a regular size man.
I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, yeah.
They're like, well, we already got these images.
Like we got a couple like, and the thing is too, when we're speaking back on like as big as them, they were rich.
Yeah.
There's not a lot. You don't really see a lot of rich models, even though Winnie Harlow is very popular, and I think she's definitely, doing financially well. But these models were millionaires.
I was going to say, because I know you probably got more insight than most, but I always, have you seen these like model stories years later and whatnot? And they, I forgot the one that I just watched. It was a documentary where we're showing like all the crazy shit that like a lot of models go through with like sexual harassment and all this
For
stuff.
sure.
And it's just like, it doesn't seem like something you would want to do. Like the field seems very, very tough on you.
I mean, it is, but what I would say is, that's the industry in general. There's hazing on every part. Even with me being a stylist, I didn't take the traditional route. A lot of people would go, they would intern, then be an assistant under a more reputable stylist, and then they will build those contacts under those stylists and, pretty much get stamped. And then they will go on to build their own clients. I went from being an intern to a lead stylist without no training, no help. So a lot of the times when you get in this world, it's very enticing. It has its negative flaws. Like I said, you're going to meet people that are going to treat you like you're beneath them, and then you're going to have people that are going to try to backstab. That's with anything that you do.
That's happening in the hood.
Yeah, it's literally. Yeah. So, people feel like because this is a beautiful world that they can let their guard down. And that's not the case. It's all about being strategic, having values, having morals. Those things take it a long way. Because a lot of these models that talk about these horror stories have also put themselves in a lot of those spaces. If a man is telling you to come to
a photo shoot at 3:15 a.m.
in the morning and tell you to take your clothes off, and then going to tell you if you don't sleep with me, you're never going to make it. Even though that's creeps every day. Maybe because I came from Philadelphia, so I see it happen to people who aren't models, just the average everyday girl.
There's a girl trying to get in a party.
Yeah, literally. So it's like you can't talk about these horror stories when you was willing to get down with the get down when it was necessary. You felt like it made sense. But like I said, this is a very I'm not gonna lie. Doing the things that I do, some of the things that I've seen, some of the people that I've been around, the rooms that I've been in, is stuff that you see on the movies. Like I literally would dream of shit like this to be able to say the things that I'm doing now. So yes, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of shit to this, but I feel like the same risk factors are something that you would take with any profession that you're in.
You got any influences outside of like your parents?
Outside of my parents, people I look up to, yeah. I have some that are in the industry, some that are just regular people. I respect grind. I respect people that, that when the odds are against them, they still prevail. I respect the person that's a victor and not a victim. One of my influences was Kanye. Another one.
You said was.
I still have love for Ye, of course.
Off the reservation right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's some things I don't. There's some things I don't agree with, but I will forever have a love for Ye. I even look up to Jay-Z. When I'm feeling like I need someone to talk their shit to me, or I need to remember who I am, I will play Jay-Z in a heartbeat. Let me see who else. Salvador Dali. Banksy, artists like Banksy, Jean-Paul Basquiat. You know, I look up to a lot of different artists and just by their stories. But yeah, I'm pretty, I don't know.
You mentioned a couple artists in there about your influences and stuff. How symbiotic are the fashion and art worlds like to one another? And like, does one kind of need to thrive in order for the other to thrive, or do you see any like relationship to the two?
I mean, same with music, fashion, and art are brother and sister. They're almost triplets. You know, you almost need one for the other to survive in a way. Even like I'm big on art. You walk into my house, it's very similar to this. Even down to me incorporating art in all of my events. Outside of fashion, I'm very, very big on events. I do some of the most interactive out-the-box parties in the city. And what I do is I love to incorporate upcoming fire artists. I like to find the undiscovered, the people that are super slept on, but that can really show out. And down to my graphics. Like, I feel like we're visual people.
Right.
And people fail to realize that even with how videos have taken a turn right now. The era that we grew up in, videos told you what was next.
Yeah, and you would watch a music video tied to who the director is. Oh, it's
For
a Little
sure.
X video or
For
Dave
sure.
Meyers video
For
or
sure.
Hype Williams video. Like,
Exactly. And it also showed you what was in trend, what alcohol we were drinking.
what was emerging.
Exactly, what was emerging down to the style. So I feel like nowadays people don't put that same effort into visual. So for the people that do, that's why they're so. Look at Kendrick, look at Travis, even down to Drake. You know, we are visual people. A visual used to be able to break the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they cut them budgets too.
Yeah.
Travis Scott said part of his main ethic when he came out as an artist, he's like, I know I'm not the most lyrically strong, but I know my production is better than everybody.
For sure.
I know
His
my
production's
performance is
crazy.
better than everybody, and I'm going to tie the whole story together with the visual that's
Exactly.
going to sell it, and then people are going to get what I'm saying, and maybe why the lyric is so simplistic, because this is the story
For
that I'm
sure.
trying to bring forth,
For
or whatever
sure.
like that.
For sure. For sure.
Remember the when they used to do the most expensive videos and they was spending $1.5 million on like, that's just like you was able to do the most insane visual you ever
Think
seen.
about I was watching the Busta Rhymes videos the other day. Just the type of production,
artistry.
the
It was
artistry,
nuts.
the stuff that I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
5, 6 when this was
I
coming
don't know
out.
where you was at when Busta and Janet came out.
That
but
Busta and
when that
Janet,
video
a
hit,
kid, and
we
I
was
remember-
glued to
Yeah.
the TV. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yes. Like
That shit was like Terminator 2. Like, yeah, that shit was crazy.
It was crazy. But those are the reasons why these artists are so iconic now. And a lot of these artists try to figure out what's that disconnection.
Yeah.
That's the disconnect. Nowadays, you don't even, with these dudes, it's a whole bunch of men in the video. You don't even see females. no
Million
more.
men in the video, niggas in the
kitchen,
stew,
yeah.
they in the kitchen.
Everybody in the kitchen with a bunch of mops.
We in the sprinter, like we like 4
Lasers,
places.
Yeah, lasers and guns and
Yeah.
hopping. They look hot. They look on top of each other. Like,
They look
it doesn't-
musty.
Musty don't make a female be like, damn.
Oh, you look
Like,
busted.
They don't even show their face now. It's a ski mask, so you don't even know who's under. You gotta listen.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of musty burglars.
Yes.
It be 60 niggas in the kitchen.
Right. And I'm just
Grandma
like,
can't do nothing. Niggas hogging the kitchen.
like it's crazy, and that's why I try to tell.
Grandma
I try
gotta take her medicine. Y'all gotta get out the way so she
Real
can make
rap.
the food, man.
Real rap.
That is hilarious. That's funny as hell. No, that's real though, man. We really have like gotten away from like the artistry of it all. And at one point, like he said, you could tell a story through the visual. And now to me, it's like even with good music, there'd be some really, really good music, but it's like 4 people who tell you a story with the visual. Like Kendrick with the transforming into Nipsey.
Yeah,
That
that
shit
was
is
crazy.
excellent when you see it.
He down to like if you even look at Baby Keem. Baby Keem is Kendrick's little cousin.
Super
Down
familiar. I'm a big fan of Baby
yeah,
Keem.
Down to his visual, to me, that's the cheat code right now. You want to
Yeah.
blow? You want to be an artist? You want to be a rapper? You know you got a hot song? Do what they not doing.
Yeah, nail the video.
Invest in your video. Stop.
Yeah.
Don't put the fucking chain down. Don't get the chain yet. If you want a necklace, get you a little necklace. Invest in your visuals and your production. The Baby, perfect example. The Baby took real goats who actually works underneath. I believe the little dude from Lyrical Lemonade. What's his name?
Cole
Bennett.
Yeah, Cole Bennett.
They're really the ones that's behind it. Cole Bennett's the face, but it's really Real Goals.
Yeah.
The baby took Real Goals, came with the most craziest concepts. The concepts, that's what people really recognize the baby. I mean, he was just a nigga walking around with a baby diaper on with a gimmick at first.
Straight
when
up.
you looked at his visuals were consistent. They matched his image. He went the full fully. And that's what made it intriguing. So just by that little era, despite whatever has gone on with him in the media, you can't take that away from him. And that's what catapulted him into the baby that fast.
Yeah, when you look at artists that blew, like, historically, look at Eminem and 50 Cent. It's like, even when you look back, like, Eminem raps weren't that crazy on the first album, but you remember the video for Guilty Conscience where it was like they was doing the America's Most Wanted, like everything made sense. Stan, just crazy video. And it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Videos now really are like just anything.
Yeah, they stink.
They don't even put the now. They wake up. Hey, I'm about to do a video today. I'm gonna put on Instagram. Meet me at this corner. Like, what the fuck?
Lil Baby shot a video. He got on the gram and was like, I need all the Rolls Royces in Atlanta to meet me at here at this time. And it's like, what are we doing here? You the biggest artist in the game, and you just like, yo, just meet me at this open pit at 4 o'clock.
It's so crazy that you said that. I had a conversation with one of my good friends. He's like one of my partners. He's a music manager, and we was just talking about it yesterday. He was like, yeah, you know, I spent over the budget for the video, and I'm just like, how much? He was like, just a couple thousand more, but you know, I went to Balenciaga. You know how they go, and I'm just like, so why didn't you just wait for me? He's like, well, you're going out of town this weekend. I was like, well, is the video going anywhere? Is it expiring?
Yeah.
What is it? We got to get this video out.
Per whose schedule?
Yes, who? What's the timeline? Is the boy, like the boy, he's a fire artist, really fire artist. He's definitely new coming out of Philly. He's dope. But it was just like, where's the video going, bro?
Who did y'all tell that on this day he was turning this video?
He literally said to me, "You right."
I ain't even think about it
like that.
I think that goes to some of what you were saying though, with the whole influencers flipping the game to where it's like, oh, these people are getting millions of views. I think that's what happened with all of these dudes who do these videos in the kitchen and YouTube and everything. They put it out and really get a lot of views.
Yeah,
so for them,
sure.
It's just like, why even put money? The video cost $700. And we're going to get 2.6 million views.
But you want to know what happens next? A lot of the times, it was that one song. This is what happens. When you don't work for something, that's what builds comfortability. Because that same hunger, that little hunger that you had when you was like, I'm going to do what I can. Maybe they couldn't even afford a video. So they had to have it in the kitchen. And it blew up. But now, that has now put that little comfortable battery in their backs, and then they feel like now everything we could do is like that, and it's not. Right. Because what's going to happen is, that one song blew, but now can you keep it up? What you should have been doing while that one song blew and you saved on the budget, y'all should have used what y'all either hustled it up, or if you did have capital, now for the next song, we're going to make sure the production's hot. Right. We're going to do our market research, see what the streets is talking about. We're going to use that little extra dollars to put some promo, and we're going to invest in a good director, because right now we got eyes on us. Mm-hmm. And the worst thing to do is to put yourself out there when you're not ready. Because when now you got eyes on you, and now people are expecting. They put you to this caliber. You're at this standard now.
It's funny you said it, but like, look at the Chief Keef. You know that all kind of happened with him. That whole
for sure.
The song
Don't Like.
That was where he did that shit in the house, and that it blew up. So that became a thing. But then you look, and 50 Cent is like, I'm setting a video, and he's just not showing up. And
I got the kitchen.
Yeah.
What I need to come to the soundstage for? I got the kitchen.
When you said video, I figured we needed to get it.
Yeah, for sure. I
got the kitchen.
See, the difference between Chief Keef is what kept Chief Keef afloat is Chief Keef was hard. Chief Keef had so much influence where he created his own sound. That's what
created a genre.
Chief Keef to this day. Yes, Chief Keef is huge. He could have been bigger, but just by the music being hard, that's what kept him afloat. But you can't say that about a lot of these new artists, these little fly-by artists. They come out, they get a good little hit, TikTok breaks them, everybody's dancing to them, and now They're sitting there stuck on why their next song's a flop because they weren't an artist from the beginning. Y'all just signed them based off of one song. When before, you had to put the work. It was artist development. It was this. It was that. We had to go to vocal lessons, etiquette class. They was running on the treadmill.
Yep,
rapping.
you gotta do cardio the whole time.
Listen, these kids don't even go to a studio no more just to look in the mirror and rehearse. That's why nobody has stage presence anymore.
Yeah, they used to send you to, Puff used to send all his artists to Divine in Atlanta. Motherfuckers got to do live show practice and production. And even if you're a rapper, you still got to learn the choreography so that you're not in the way of the dancers and all of that shit.
Even like, man, with these kids, I tell my rapper clients all the time, especially the ones that smoke, run. You up here, y'all can't even make it through a 3-minute song. About to die on stage. Then y'all, literally, you got a whole 15 to 17 minute set. Oh yeah, I need a big set. What you need a big set for? You can't even survive. And you got no dancers that's gonna break up the time. Y'all don't even. I literally tell them. I said Beyonce. I show one of my clients this. Beyonce when she did the VMAs for Lemonade. Beyonce performed a 16-track song, did all the majors, hit on every point that the artist knew, like her consumers knew, in 15 minutes. I mean, down to the choreo, down to we were able to look at what we saw on the Lemonade movie to the stage in 15 minutes. People used to go to people's shows and watch. Same when I was watching Creed. What's Creed doing? They in there watching. The boy was watching Creed fight. He up there looking at his. They don't have that stamina no more. Yeah. This is what is it? Training Day. This is Remember the Titans. This is how I look at my shit. This is where I got to where I go. I practice. Right. They don't do it no more.
My cousin used to say all the time, practice makes perfect. That's why we rehearse shit.
You have to. People now y'all got this big ass buzz. Now people are so excited to see you, and now when you perform, it's a flop, and that's the worst thing.
We were having a conversation recently of just how like rap shows it's literally gotten to the point where it's a rapper in front of the DJ on the stage, and he not even moving no more. At least back in the day, you'd get to put your hands in the air and all. Yeah. Like, it ain't none of that shit no more. I saw and I ain't gonna diss the man, but I saw the performance recently that was so bad. It was just like, yo, I can't believe people pay. It's literally, he was on the same level as them in like the club, and it was just a fence in between them. And he's just standing there rapping along with the words. I mean, this shit look like a job interview. It was crazy. And it's like, yo, there is none of that.
Did y'all watch? All right, so the Javante fight, y'all saw that, right?
The last one.
The last one. And did y'all see the two artists? I don't know who they were, but
the ones that performed before Shy Glizzy brought Tank out.
The ones who performed before Shy Glizzy. And this is not me knocking, but this is when I say this is the prime example of when you don't have development as an artist, but you invested on everything else. They were dripped down. It made me when I was looking all the chains in the Burberry.
Who are these niggas?
It made me like, did I miss out? Who is this? I had to look. Am I missing something? Everything. And then when they started rapping, they were rapping to each other. The camera's right here. This is your debut.
You on pay-per-view.
You're on pay-per-view. This is one of the biggest fights. Everybody is here right now. If they didn't know you before, they're going to know you the fuck today.
I would have performed a 2-minute rap that was all my name.
Literally. That's what y'all do. Literally, they
like boats and hoes. Jack man.
Like, I was so confused. They didn't grab the camera. I'm like, nigga, at least you go. This is your chance. Like, if you ain't had no chance, this was your chance.
That tunnel.
And they was rapping to each other. Look at each. I was like, bro, this is crazy. Yeah. How did you like? This is where it goes into the how.
Yeah, they probably paid $50,000 for that shit too.
Crazy. And then here come the real artists. Eat it up. Shy Glizzy, drop mic. We ain't heard Shy Glizzy in 10 years. That one time, boop, drop mic.
He come out with the white mink on,
everything as an
swagged
artist,
it all the way
and
out.
This is why Shy Glizzy is Shy Glizzy. Yeah. Period.
Yep.
Hell of a breakdown.
All right. I got a 2-part question. Back to fashion a little bit. First, what is the best fashion house of all time, or a period of a fashion house? And then second, who is the greatest figure to come from the fashion world?
Greatest fashion house of all time.
Can I give an answer to that too after her?
Sure.
Okay. I know I got an obscure answer.
Greatest fashion house of all time.
No.
I'm gonna base this off of just legacy and what I grew up on and what was just captivating to me. The House of Versace. I mean, Versace is probably just from just being able to stay afloat,
Right.
consistent, and stay within brand standards. I would say Versace to me is probably Versace or Dior are probably one of the two most consistent.
Okay.
I would say Versace is always, like I said, they've always maintained their brand standards, and then even after Gianni passed away,
Kind of felt like it elevated when Donatella took over.
yeah, it was almost like I said, and then they also kept the element of family. Everything was very regal, very royal. Also, I feel like, just from what I see, and maybe I could be incorrect, but for what I see, Versace was also very accepting of the black and hip hop community at a
Absolutely.
very early time before others were.
Yeah.
You know, Versace, I remember being a kid and knowing what Versace was and wanting to have it, and seeing all the rappers, they didn't have their Versace blurred out. Whereas with Gucci and all the rest of them, they had to blur that shit out. I felt like Versace was always down for the culture, even down to them being accepting of black models. That was another thing.
Absolutely.
They were very, very accepting of black models. You know, Naomi was definitely like one of the it girls. I just feel like I said, overall, with just consistency, and there's some things I'm not really, that's a little gaudy that I would say is like too much.
Yeah.
But as far as consistency and just really tying into the culture, and even when Migos did that Versace song, what I loved about it, they could have shut them down.
Yeah.
They endorsed them, and that was major. Now, as far as you said, one of the biggest things to come out of the fashion industry,
Like a figure. Somebody, it could be influence, it could be personal style, it could be consistency, whatever you want to grade it on.
I have a couple. I would say 3. One thing I would say is Pharrell. People don't give Pharrell enough credit for with all his influence, from Billionaire Boy, Babe, to all the sub companies that he's created. Then his collaborations, he went from catering to a skateboard genre, and then also making it cool for black kids to skate. I grew up suburban in both worlds, so I already know how it is for, black kids being accepted into the skate culture and being ostracized. Yeah. So Pharrell made it cool for you to be aware of.
Skateboard P.
Real rap. And then after that, he has branched off and has went from, like I said, making a streetwear brand and almost into a high-end brand. Bape and Billionaire Boys Club and all that is damn near considered luxury. And then he crossed over and then applied that to Chanel, applied that to Adidas, created human races, designed a whole line, and then made those exclusives. Then even what he did with, the Stan Smiths, was that what they, like,
Yeah.
he just, Pharrell overall is an innovator. He's always stayed true to himself, and to be able to have that type of influence in music and have it transfer over to fashion and blend both worlds is crazy. And then by him now taking over Louis Vuitton, is wild.
Something I always say about Pharrell is that perpetually, since we met him, every time you see him, he's encapsulation of being like 20 years in the future. When it comes to like fashion, trends, sensibility, everything, like he just recently did, and he just basically showed everybody how to gracefully get rid of your old jewelry. I'm going to set up the Jupiter auction. It's private. It's anonymous. I'm going to run my own Sotheby's or whatever. And everybody in the world
Drake publicly brings it all up. All the fuck outside.
Yeah. He did it the right way. He shows black excellence. Even, like I said, even with dealing with stuff in the media, he's always kept it clean. Even down to him crossing over. One thing, I studied film in college, so one thing I'm huge on, I use a lot of those techniques in a lot of my fashion films and just in my production, is scoring. scoring is so important, and just how he is now evolved into scoring films, children's films, handling soundtracks. You know, it's just like I said, and his influence is so crazy that you don't even have to know that Pharrell is on it. You can hear his sound.
Right.
You know his aesthetic. You know, same way how The Dream has his aesthetic. Oh crap! I thought I put my phone on silent, guys. Sorry. It actually is on silent. But yeah, even how The Dream, you know, how The Dream has his little, what's that, 8.
Right, his signature.
His signature, yeah. Pharrell has a signature with everything. So I think that's dope.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was funny when you said Versace, I was thinking Versace, but I was like, Gucci is like right there too. And it's just like, you know, it's Gucci, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got shit like that. You know, it's like, but I'm going to go with, yeah, I agree with that. Just the mansion, like that was what was making me think.
Everything, the mansion
on a ocean.
My thing with Gucci is Gucci. I love Gucci, but to me, the reason why I don't give it to Gucci is because when it comes to, like I said, we have to think about the culture. Us as a black community, we are the ones that make these brands pop. Mm-hmm. If we decided to stop, it would get really crazy. So it was for 30 days. Yeah, with the little
30 days,
30 days.
But even like I said, Gucci, it took for Gucci after they shut
that's
Dapper
where I was
down.
gonna go. Like the fact that Versace has big and tall, and you know, and honestly, I was thinking on a regular, like not high end, but like polo, like Ralph Lauren.
It's
just,
timeless.
Like like it's just the golf shirt is just always gonna be there.
Even to this day, a big guy could walk with the Gucci, the silky shirt with the emblem, and it still hits hard as the same way it did in '96. But like I said, Gucci, love Gucci to death, but Gucci, to me, they need convincing in order to mess with us. And then, like I said, after they shut Dapper down and they recreated his look, now we going to invite you in after we done messed up. But we gave the white boy from Snapchat who created the Gucci Ghost, we gave him a collaboration outside of that.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy seeing the Gucci billboards when I was overseas. I was just like, damn, like, because, you know, at first it was like they didn't just go to Gucci. It's like after a while, it's like, oh, he washing up now and got some new teeth. You know, we gonna fuck with Gucci. And it's just like now he's doing that type of shit. And it's just like, I don't know. I would go with Versace. You know what I'm saying? I do think that's more of an iconic brand, I guess you could say.
Oh, you said you had two more people.
So it's
Pharrell one.
Pharrell. I would definitely have to. I don't agree with everything that Virgil has done, but Virgil puts on to me for the street artist. He gives people hope. Like, he wasn't just a flyby. Like, Virgil used to be in Philly out here DJing with Haram Preston and my friend Gutter God and Uzi and them. So it's just like, you know, to be able to see someone that came from our world that was probably considered an outsider. He wasn't like he was the most attractive or, you know, the coolest person. And for him to come and to not only just elevate, but to like storm the castle down
dominated.
Dominated down to his death is, you know, is crazy. And I definitely think that you know, he should definitely be recognized for that. I definitely do think that I would have wanted to see, and I think that probably was coming eventually, him see more into black creatives. But I definitely think he has put on and has shown that you could be an underdog, you know, you could be an outsider, and you can go from that to not only dominating the fashion industry, but now you've done so good in your lane that you've now adopted and acquired these timeless brands that have been around for hundreds of years. They need you to keep it afloat. They had to bring on Pharrell after Virgil. It was the only way.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that too once we get through these. And then who's your last person?
My last person would have to be Kanye.
I was gonna say,
and the reason why
I was a big person to be
and the reason why I'm gonna say Kanye, and this is not just by what he's doing with Yeezy. I'm gonna speak on from personal experience. Everybody thinks Yeezy season 3, when he had it at Madison Square Garden, was about the fashion. No, Kanye is such a genius that he sold us an aesthetic. Yeah. It was really what was the pieces that were really could have been purchased from Yeezy season were the shearlings, the shoes, I believe it was a couple of the sweatsuits and a couple of the sweaters. Everything else that was there that those 1,600 people wore were thrift store clothes. They were literally Joe's Crab Shack, Gildan. Like, I thought when we went and did the show, you couldn't tell me they weren't going to pull out of these big-ass crates some high-end. I was like, oh, shit, I'm about to see the new collection. When they opened them crates, it was dyed, literally, and they were by color palette. It was dyed sweatshirts, literally Joe's Crab Shack employee shirts that were faded and just dyed. So he went to a thrift, and we have one here. It's called like a bulk wholesale thrift store where they have shearlings,
Damn, write that down,
everything that you need. And they have it organized.
Yeah.
And you can go, and what he did was buy bulk shearlings, bulk sweatshirts, bulk sweaters, and we're going to get them dyed. So one of, like, I'm talking about, these are like big cartons as big as this damn room. One of them, everything was dyed an eggplant. Everything was dyed a rusted orange. Everything was dyed brown. So what he did was sold us a whole aesthetic. So right after Yeezy season 3, people started wearing, everybody was dressing homeless. They started wearing sweatshirts, tights, cut off shorts, long, everything was brown and neutral color palettes. People swore that these were pieces. No. Only thing that you was able to buy was shoes, coats, and a couple sweatshirts, and maybe 2 sweaters. Yeah. Everything else was some stockings that was ripped up. And that's a genius. Yeah, you had people, I'm talking about top tier. I remember I was in the back and I seen the Kardashians pull up in inside backstage Madison Square Garden in the SUV truck. Anna Wintour is walking by me. Like, it was so, it felt like I did a video game when I did that. It was just so many levels to that evening that it was wild. And for all these people to come here and to see these people to stand there like this was a post-apocalyptic movie, District 9, and just stand there and watch these people in tattered, thrifted clothes and then go and proceed to buy it was genius. And that's
shifted the culture.
Shifted the culture. That means that I'm gonna sell y'all this thing and I'm gonna have y'all go fucking crazy. Y'all gonna buy every brown, and if y'all can't afford this literally knit sweater that had 2 cuts in it that was $3,000, you gonna go make your own. And he literally, it was a whole era where people, to this day, people still dress like this. So you gotta give it to Ye. Ye is a genius. Despite his impulsive actions, you know, he's phenomenal.
What do you think about the prospect of him and Adidas getting back together? Because it's like, it's conflicting reports. It's like, it's out there. Accredited people are reporting it, but like him nor Adidas are reporting it.
I mean, I think it's going to happen. I'm a Gemini. Me and a couple days apart. So I already know. One thing about a Gemini is we're going to make you bow. We're going to make you cower, and we're going to make you do it publicly. So you thought you was going to destroy us. No. Now you got to always spin the block. They always spin the block when you leave a Gemini. And that's what he did. So, yeah, I'm going to let y'all try to destroy me, or you try to say you didn't need me. Okay. What Ye say, if you could do it better than me, then you do it. Do it. Adidas do it. And Adidas couldn't do it. And now I just want to show you how much you need me. Kiss the ring.
Him not being there affected their other brand lines.
For sure.
Because people were out on Adidas, period, to where it affected Ivy Park. It affected like these other like offshoot, sub brands and stuff that they were doing. And I just think that they just didn't realize how big his overall influence was.
People gave up on, think about it. Once Yeezy was a part of Adidas, when did you, outside of the Shell Top or the Stan Smith, when did you see anybody buy Adidas?
Nobody in mass. They was buying them little track pants. That was it.
$40
track pants.
When it came to sneakers, you didn't see it. The only time you might have saw it is you seen like a mother buy her child one of the, how they had the Adidas that kind of looked like the Yeezys a little bit. They were kind of like shaped like the Yeezy runners.
Pre-Yeezy?
No, like during Yeezy. During Yeezy.
Oh yeah, the EQT.
Yeah, like they would get them a couple
Beyonce
of those.
Got an Ivy Park pair of them Jones.
Yeah. Outside of that, nobody was buying
the EQTs
Adidas,
and the NMDs.
Adidas shoes.
NMDs went off.
Yeezy took over Adidas so much that the only Adidas shoes that were accepted were
Yeezys. Yeah.
That was it. Nobody cared about
These
it.
had a hard ass run. They went hard.
But because he was wearing them.
Right, and the Ultra Boosts, they had a hard
He was
ass
wearing it.
run.
Like when he wore those, I remember when he wore those black Ultra Boosts, the OGs with the white midsole and the purple end cap or whatever. Now you can't get these motherfuckers. Like so now you take a shoe that's already $180 and then now it's $350, $400. Like you couldn't even get the damn shoe.
Yeah, I remember I wanted the 3M Ultra Boosts. I wanted them so bad, and I just couldn't find them in the 16. And then finally, when I seen them, it was just like after. And I was just like, I'm not getting big dumb ass fucking bright ass sneaks. I wanted them shit bad when they first dropped, and just couldn't find them in my size. Good times, man.
So let me ask you this. How do you describe your own personal style? Like you pour so much of your ideas and your creativity into other people. Like how do you describe your own personal style and what rises to the level of something that Devon Milan wants to wear?
I call myself like a showstopper. I'm the stylist that does not like to get dressed.
Yeah.
I will tell you the truth. I'm the stylist that does not like fashion. Like I like it, but I don't. Like I hate going shopping.
Yeah.
I'm talking about damn near on the verge of tears. And I'm like, you put me in the store, I can't do it. I hate shopping. I hate trying on clothes. Like I am the like anti-stylist, but I'm like a great stylist.
Yeah,
so I would say with me, it's all about who I am at that moment, like who I woke up to be today. Like today, I was just like, I just want to be like tomboy chic, you know?
Yeah. You know the first thing I noticed when you took your jacket off?
What?
Slumlord hoodie.
Of course, that's my
my shit, yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I like to, one thing about me, I'm not a person that will ever dress based on how much something cost or what's next. Like I don't care. I can love something. It could be Chanel and I could be like, oh my God, I love it. But once I know it's Chanel and I know everybody else likes it, I hate it now. Yeah. And as much as I think it's cute, I will do the complete opposite.
Right.
So I'm one of those people, like just recently I went to the Stacker Star Def Jam party. And I already knew, like I don't really.
You shut it down too. I saw your outfit. You got busy.
You. Listen, when I go to, I don't really get a chance to go to like the Philly It events.
Yeah.
So when I do get a chance to go, you know, you gotta keep up. Cause Philly, I will say, we definitely throw that shit on. From all the cities that I go to, we're probably the most consistent where we like to be dressed. So I already knew I was walking in the confidence. I said the APs is gonna be out, the Chanel bags, the diamonds, the shark boots. But I came completely like me. I honestly, the most expensive thing that I had on outside of my coat was my teeth and my jewelry, my necklace. But I wanted to show that you can shut shit down. It's not about the label. It's about how you wear the clothes, how you hook it up, the exclusive pieces that you get. So my style is a showstopper. I just want to just break the internet. So one day I might come in a full length mink. The other day I might have a leather crown on my head or a full biker cage. Like I like to dress like characters from movies. Yeah. I want to.
Can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. What's one fashion trend that went on that you just absolutely hated? Like whether it be a piece or.
I'm not gonna lie. I hated when the guys were walking around with the bottom of the hoodie cut off and the sleeve cut off. Do y'all remember that summer when everybody was wearing those hoodies?
Yeah.
That had
the bottom of the hoodie cut off?
The rib of the hoodie was cut.
Was dressing like Ezekiel Elliott.
Literally, this was cut.
I don't remember that.
The rib sleeve cuffs.
I ain't cut the bottom of my hoodie off.
Hated it. Another fashion trend.
How did you feel about the bulletproof vest that's not bulletproof?
See, I love what I call it what is it? Tactical.
Tactical. Okay.
I love tactical looks.
Yeah.
But it has to be if you're gonna do it, like do it. Like when I went to David LaChapelle, I had on all biker armor.
Yeah.
I never rode a bike in my goddamn life. But I sold the whole outfit. I came in looking like literally like something off of Biker Boys. But walking around with a bulletproof vest and
a braided belt on cargo pants.
A Gucci belt and some skinny ass jeans. That's not. It don't look like you protecting anything. Like you're not selling the look. Nothing looks tactical about this.
You look frail.
Yes, very frail. You ain't. I see everything. I know exactly where to shoot you at. And that's what it is. Like that's what gets you. Like if you gonna do something, you got to do it all the way. If I'm gonna walk around with a biker helmet on, I'm gonna be Daft Punk. I'm a Daft Punk it the fuck out. Like so, you just got to own it. I feel like people just was hopping on. Like I hate the shiesty mask thing.
I hate it. It makes me sick.
I mean, we're older, so you know me. I don't understand it at all. This
is my thing, and I always tell guys. I'll never forget. I went to an ASAP concert when I first got started, and there was this little crew of guys. They were from Philly, and I don't know who they were, but they ate it the fuck up. They all had on black. And it was just mobbing. Some of them had the ski mask on. They had the biker gloves, the black jackets. Some of them had the hoodies with the pants and the boots. And I didn't see not 1 ounce of labels. But just by them being cohesive, all one color, clean, nice lines, they just mobbed as
you remembered it.
I remember it mobbed as a unit. So to me, if you're going to do this ski mask thing, there's so many fire ski masks. There's so many fire actual looks that you can put together with a ski mask. Just walking around, and then y'all do it when it's hot. That's even the crazy thing.
92 degrees outside.
I took my little brother and his friends to the pool. I told them to come pull up on me downtown. We're on a rooftop pool. They come pull up on me with wife beaters on.
And
shiesty masks. Wife beaters. A towel around his neck, a wife beater, and a shiesty mask. And it's just like it has to be stopped. Now blaming on some of the old heads because y'all have young bulls and y'all let them do that shit without y'all saying you look fucking stupid.
Yeah, you look ridiculous.
I know Shiesty sitting in jail. Like, please stop. Like, just
this is not helping my case.
Stop associating me with this shit. Like, that shit is crazy.
That's crazy. They really call it the Shiesty.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, what fashion trends do you like? It could be something that's already happened, something emerging, or something you anticipate.
I love monochromatics. I feel like this is just a styling trend for anybody. If you don't really know how to dress or you really don't have a lot of options, going monochromatic, going one solid color, even if you don't have the exact same tone of that color, really makes a really good statement. So I always suggest that too for a lot of my big and tall guys and people that are trying to be different.
Listen up now.
If you're just trying to be different.
So I should be melodramatic?
Monochromatic.
Okay.
So like literally
fuck that up.
You come in or like very cohesive. Like one of my friends, he has a hard time finding stuff. He's a big guy, but he eats them up all the time. I just seen him at Fashion Week. He had an all green outfit. Green, and it was different tones of green. Some was mint, some was regular, but just how he hooked it up.
When we did our live show, we wore tuxedos, and he got me to wear like it was a salmon, like a dark mauve, and I was like, remember, I was totally against it when we was in Nordstrom, but then wearing it and seeing people's reaction, I'm like, it's more than
I'm
shit.
telling you, a nice color palette, whether it's all wearing all one color or like grays or neutrals or all pastels, that's a cheat code for, just capturing attention. I'm like, damn, that looks clean. And a lot of people are scared to wear color. So if you wear color and you layer it properly, that's a win. So I always love monochromatics. I love layering. I think layering is a very cool way of, one, getting the most out your outfit, and then two, when you do content, like you got 3 outfits in one.
Yeah.
You got
for our people who are listening who aren't fashionably inclined, specifically me, what is layering?
So layering, like kind of how when I came in, I had my jacket. This was still like, even with me having this pattern hoodie with the jacket and then doing the boots, it created a silhouette. So just with me wearing my coat was an outfit. Okay. I took a picture in that still would look hard. Then when I take my coat off, this is still its own separate looking lay, and vice versa. Then I could take this off, it's still,
because you got the jewelry and then that's more exposed.
Exactly. Yeah. So
only problem is when you big, you ain't wearing that many coats.
Yeah, but
and put on that many layers. This is how this shit is. 1.5.
But you know, like
1.5 layers is funny.
you know, you can do like do a fire ass long sleeve shirt, and if you want to do a cardigan or you wore a hoodie, and then you like, all right, well, once I'm done with my hoodie, I'm gonna take the long sleeve shirt, and this is a whole nother leg, you know. Yeah. Now I'm just gonna throw the glasses on with the long sleeve shirt and the boots, and it's still its own look. So I love layering.
Uzi said on one of his songs, "I wear jackets no matter the weather."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
for
that
sure.
rare ball main leather.
What Pimp C say? Ain't no temperature. Ain't
no temperature on TV.
Television. You know
No, it's not. I would definitely say another trend that I like. What's the trend that's going on right now?
Or something in past that you just wouldn't remember liking.
Oh,
or something that should come back.
I mean, I'm happy it's coming back around. The Y2K era, to be honest, I kind of want the early 90s, 80s. I feel like that's about to come back. Right now they did the Y2K. Yeah. I feel like the early 80s, the late 80s, early 90s is coming back. I want to see, I love the Letterman jackets. I love the velour sweatsuits that they used to do back in the day. I love those type of looks. I even love like that, the 96 to 2001, like I said, the big Letterman jackets with the Jabot jeans and the Anichi and like all that.
I was in my prime back then. That was high school.
Yeah. I love that jeans are going back to being a little bit wider.
I go to City Blue with 300 bags and shit walking out of there. That was a good time, man.
Yeah, I love that jeans are getting more boxes. So one of my clients, it's so funny. My client, all black, when we started working with him, he was like,
all black from the Bay.
Yeah, from the Bay. That's my guy. So I had just styled him recently. I styled the video with him and Dusty Locane burpee.
Yeah.
And he's like, I normally don't work with stylists. And he's like, well, I'm going to work with you. And I had put him in a Who Decides War look, full Who Decides War. He had on Who Decides War.
That's that new. They don't know about that yet. You gotta unravel that one for them. So they don't know about the Who Decides War.
I got the covers right over there.
They originally was Murder Bravado, but Who Decides War is actually a black-owned brand, and a lot of their aesthetics is boxy clothing, heavy embroidery, heavy distress and layering, and exposed
jeans
denim.
Are fire.
Yeah, and everything with them is either boxy or high waist. So I had put him in a boxy jean, and this is like completely against his aesthetic. All black, he wears some skinny jeans, some Amaris, and a hoodie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, he's like, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust you. And when he wore it, he loved it. He was like, you really complimented my body type. And people get so discouraged by different bodies. I used to be bigger, so I already know just one from comfort and what I experienced, and then also I just know what looks good. So I always try to say, if you're a guy that's bigger on top and you have smaller legs, do not wear skinny jeans with an oversized top, because now you look like Groot from Despicable Me.
Yeah.
No, you wear something that balances out the silhouette. So if you're going to wear an oversized jacket or hoodie, then balance it out. Now, I'm not saying go in parachute pants, but do something that is a little bit looser.
Fuller through the leg.
Exactly. So it's not going to show off that you have smaller thighs. It's not really going to show that contrast between your top and your bottom, and the lines look great. Same way I tell my females, my bigger females, if you are going to do something loose on top, do not do loose on the bottom, because now you're just going to look like a parachute. No, do loose on top, do something slimming, whether it's a pair of tights or some boots or something like that, and then vice versa. If you're going to go big on bottom, go slim on top, because it's going to create an hourglass figure. So people, it's not about the clothes. People just sometimes just don't know how to layer or wear their clothes.
That's a fact.
So yeah.
That was a good breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So we winding down. Got a couple more questions for you. Tell us about your brand, Lulu James, and the inspiration behind that.
Okay. Yeah. So Lulu James is actually it's a memorial to my grandparents.
Okay, I love that.
Thank you. So my grandfather is James Ketter. My grandmom's Lulu Ketter, and they've always, not only have they been a support system for my mother, but just a huge support system for me and just pushing me and my family on being creatives, especially, you know, during that time, everyone wants their child to be a doctor, a lawyer, you know.
Do a good job with them benefits.
Yeah, with the benefits. Like,
they
that's
pushing you
that
to be
era.
creative is beautiful.
For sure.
My dad was create a job application. Like, real shit.
So one thing I would say about my grandparents, they've always been big advocates on following your dreams, helping us manifest, believing, you know, in it. And especially my grandfather came from Sumter, Carolina with a first grade education.
You said Sumter?
Yeah,
Okay,
Sumter, South Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
So he had a first grade education. Me and him, when I was in second grade, we were in tutoring together. So that just goes to show, you know, he always was big on learning. So just for when we were going to create this collection and from us, you know, revamping from Rodeo designs and just being fully custom to being not only a black furrier, but female black furriers and a mother-daughter dynamic, you know, it had to be something that was going to represent us, you know, whole. And during that time, my mom's the youngest. So when my grandmother passed away, you know, it almost, not saying tore the family apart, but she's the matriarch of everything. Yeah. So it was just like, damn, you know.
What we gonna do now?
Yeah, so that was one of the things. Creating this collection was one of the things that brought my mom out of her depression. But what's beautiful about this was to be able for us to come together and me introduce my mom into my world. Yeah. It was almost like a passing the torch moment. So that was really amazing. You know, she's done her thing and, you know, for the past 30 years, she's been making noise. But to now have her cross over into what I do, right. You know, New York Fashion Week and showing and just being able to not only start off strong, this set the bar for everybody. This was our first year showing for New York Fashion Week. We came from Philadelphia and we had an all-star lineup of celebrities walk for us. Yeah. And this whole opportunity, we didn't seek this opportunity out. We didn't purchase a slot to be a part of it. It was, they came to us and sponsored us for this. So that goes to show that they wanted us. And we definitely made noise.
That's what's up.
So I'm just happy. We just got a call from Lil Nas X yesterday about a fair British Vogue, Teen Vogue, and this is just all in a matter of just 2 weeks. And even with that collection, we put that whole collection together in 4 weeks. So this wasn't nothing outside of the showstopper. We probably only had about 4 or 5 coats already available. So everything else was being done all while she's working. I still had Coi, I still had Maya the Don. Yeah. So to put this whole show together on top of having so many other factors come into play, it was God. Yeah, for sure. It was definitely God, for sure.
That's major. Where do you see Lulu James in like the next year, next 3 years, next 5 years?
I see it as a household name. I mean, like I said, this was just now us being introduced to the world. Like I said, my parents been doing this for so long, and I'm just finally happy. They've been getting their flowers in Philly, but now for them to see, and by them being, people were impressed by what they saw on the runway. And don't get me wrong, it was beautiful, but that's not shit compared to what we can do. Right. We know we've been doing this for so long, so for now my world, they knew me as a stylist. They didn't know this superpower that I had behind me, this machine that I had behind me. And even though I was making noise, I didn't know where it was coming from. Now it's stamped. Right. So right now, like I said, Lulu James is just going up, and we're going to keep not only putting on for females, but we're going to put on for Philly. Everything I do is to put on for my city to bring that championship back home. That's what I'm big on. So everybody trying to leave Philadelphia, I want to show that there are creatives from here that are still here, that's still touching your cities, but we still, like I said, bringing them trophies back.
That's a fact. I got one more question, and then I want to do rapid fire before we get out of here. Unless you got something, Matthew.
You do men's clothes, right? Mm-hmm. You do big and tall?
Yeah. Okay. One of my big and tall clients, Big Fendi.
Big Fendi.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Fendi.
Did you style him when he jumped off the helicopter? Was that his own?
No, when he did the helicopter. I was just with him yesterday.
I was trying to figure out how to work that into something, and he beat me to it. That's funny.
Yeah, Big Fendi, that's my guy. He's definitely been, supporting me and also challenging me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a lot of big and tall clients.
One last question for like our next event. Could I reach out to you to style something for me if I wanted to? Would that be
Yeah,
possible?
for sure.
Okay. I'm
For
serious.
sure. No, I'm just serious. Yeah.
Like, get your budget right, you know.
Yeah, I work with everybody. For sure. Yeah, we can do it. I got you.
My last question before we do rapid fire is, are you familiar with HBO's The Hype?
Yes.
What do you think of that show as a vehicle for highlighting young creatives? And then the second question is, anything you would change about it if you were a part of that executive team?
What I do love about The Hype, I mean, Marnie, she's Beyonce's stylist.
She's
she also
awesome.
styles so many people of the stars. I love Offset. Actually, one of the girls from Philly that I'm acquainted with, she actually styles Offset. I'm not gonna lie, when the show came out, I had a lot of hope for the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was something that was fire. I thought it was dope for them to, create a platform for up and coming creatives, especially creatives of color. Now that I'm having like a more of an in-depth and an inside look at production,
Inside looking out as opposed to outside looking
exactly. There's a lot of the time they go for what's trendy versus what's effective. And this is not just with these shows, it's also with a lot of the labels. They'll go for what's trendy rather than what's effective. The goal of this show is to find the next hype.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, they had some really talented people on there. Actually, one of the girls that I showed with at the fashion show, Meffy the show, was from The Hype. But what I will say is, when it comes to scouting talent, if you're going to have someone represent a show and a brand as big as HBO, especially HBO Max, you need the best of the best. And I feel like when it came to who they casted, although I know a couple of people that were on the show, I personally know them, and I love that they were able to see promise in them. But I felt like there's a lot of talented people out here that are really the hype, we know are the hype, that have not gotten their flowers or gotten those credits yet, that were overlooked for that opportunity. And I just started designing, so I would never even have tried to be a part of that.
Yeah, you're not even talking about yourself.
Yeah,
you're just
but
saying, like, I'm immersed in this world. I
Yeah.
know who's shaking shit up.
And there's people that's really shaking shit up that I felt like it could have made it a really good competition for the show.
Yeah.
Not only would these people have had that exposure, but it would have really been great TV. And that's probably why the show got canceled, because although with the type of production they had, I mean, you've had celebrity people guest star.
Yeah, they had pulled up, Dapper Dan pulled up both seasons. They had
it was a lot.
the marathon crew pull up.
Yeah,
for one of the episodes.
It's a lot, and that costs a lot of money. So to do that, you want the best of the best of people that can really have promise to actually being successful from this.
Yeah.
And like I said, although a couple of the people that were on there are popular, they had their own buzzes, they were already working with their own celebrity clientels, I don't necessarily think that when it came to their skill set, that they were appropriate to be on the show at that season.
Yeah.
And that's me being honest.
Something that was kind of strange to me was after season 1, like, they picked a winner, but then, like, Offset was like making it known, I didn't co-sign this winner. Like, you won, but you didn't get my co-sign. And I'm like, well, how did he win?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's dumb. Like, even if he won and didn't get your cosign, that shouldn't even have been a thing.
It was like a major talking point, and I was just like, this is kind of strange.
That's what I'm saying. That's where it goes into, again, production. Offset and I fuck with Offset heavy, but by Offset being such a public figure and such a big artist, Offset doesn't have to be. He doesn't want to be politically correct. He don't have to be.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is where you went against the plan.
Exactly.
This is where, and now we really can't say nothing, because technically a lot of people are watching this show because Offset's on here. Like that, he's one of our key things. They didn't expect for him. That was
and he a producer on the show, I think. So.
Yeah, they gave him exactly. Of course, they're going to bring him on there as the executive producer, and then. it's just like I said.
So now you got the main talent that's drawing the audience, plus an executive producer saying, "Yeah, you won, but so what?" So we back looking for somebody that I'm actually gonna put like my cosign on, and then for season 2, the guy Bartholomew won, but then that was a whole thing of and like everybody feeling like he shouldn't have won.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna give Bartholomew. I can't even say
Bartholomew.
B-Gold. That's my boy though. You know what's crazy?
B-Gold. We were supposed to interview him.
B-Gold actually was one of the first people when I first started. I did a project with Apple Music and Bree Steves, and he invited me to his showroom. And he showed me his whole collection. So he had the gold beads on everything. Yeah. But B-Gold, I was actually very happy to see him on this show. Now, I remember when he first kind of got started, I was kind of like a little much for my taste at one point, but seeing the stuff that he created and just seeing his growth, even down to that ski mask sweater was crazy. He's been doing this for a very long time. So to see him on there, I didn't know that he won, but I'm actually, like I said, I can see where people are like, maybe, because I didn't see all of his designs, but I definitely think he's been in this game for a very long time. He's definitely played his dues. He also shows that he can actually sew. And to me, a lot of the designers on there, they had strength, but they wasn't like, see, when it comes to being a hype, it's about having the overall package. It's about making a garment that could be used, that's actually fashionable, knowing how to sew, knowing how to properly sew and construct the garment. So it's more than just creating a trendy piece. A lot of the people on that show, they know how to make cute stuff that photographs well, but it's not realistic or functional, exactly. And that's what it was. A lot of the designers on there, it was like, okay, from a distance 50 feet away, that's cute. Or in the picture, that's cute, but you walk down the street, it might fall apart. So I definitely think when it came to someone being consistent, innovative, and having great construction, I definitely think that he deserved it. But again, to the common audience there, and I love B-Gold, but there are still a lot of there's people that's doing 3D. Like, times have changed now. It's more than just sewing. So if you're going to talk about the hype, you need some shit. I want to see 3D printers and people that's taking leather and hardware. Like some crazy stuff. So I feel like that's what it is. Like right now, you can't have a name that's called The Hype, and we can go on Instagram right now
and be like, these people better than the people on the show.
Exactly. It was more so trendy. You know, a lot of some of them, like the dude from New York, I know him. He works with a lot of different celebrities. One of the young ladies from LA, I forgot her name, but I actually worked with her with what's the girl from Love and Hip Hop, Brittany? But I did a shoot with them, and she actually makes cool jackets. But again, like I said, I definitely think there's people that just are a little bit more polished. That should have been there for sure.
All right, cool. Rounding out, we want to do rapid fire. We're going to throw names, people, topics, companies just at you in succession. You tell us the first thing that comes to your mind. If you have a little backstory or something that you want to add additionally to it, feel free to elaborate. Matt, kick us off.
Lil Kim.
Who wants to rumble with the beehive?
Throw a hex on your whole family.
Dressing all black like the old man. Okay. Do you know me?
Misa Hilton.
We accomplished nothing with that answer, but it was lit.
MCM. I think, so am I doing that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's whatever you want. It's open. It's open format.
I think MCM. I think Crush on You. I think Bad Boy. I think Diddy. That's what comes to my mind with Misa.
Virgil.
Off-White. Pyrex. Louis V. I also think of that big, I'm not even gonna lie, he had one of the best memorials. That big
crazy memorial.
The what's that? The hot air balloon with the fireworks, immaculate.
Did you go to any of his exhibits?
No, I actually got invited to the Louis Vuitton exhibit, but I didn't have anything to wear. Something like that, you gotta come correct.
I would have went right in there with sweats and the Thank you for that.
See, I'm not mature enough to know.
You gotta go, yeah. And then you in the industry, they gonna judge you different.
I can't just walk in like I really have to come in like with a shiesty on. Like, don't worry about it.
No, this ain't me. Dev, is that you? No, this ain't me. June Ambrose.
That's funny as shit.
June, I think Belly, I think Hype Williams, I think actually, we're so crazy, full circle moment. I actually worked with June Ambrose last year.
June is phenomenal. I love her so much.
I got a call. This is a super full circle moment. So in 2007, I got approached. I was a kid. I was only in high school, but I got approached with doing an internship. Dapper Dan actually set it up with June Ambrose in New York. And my mom told me, you're too young, and I think you're going to get a scholarship here, so you're going to go where you get a scholarship. So that whole internship went out
the window. Yeah.
So now almost, about 10 years later, that opportunity presented itself again. I got a phone call from a friend of mine. She asked me, she was like, do you know who June Ambrose is? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
She was like, well, she's looking for someone. They need someone to collab on this Dapper Dan sweatsuit for the Puma runway show. So I'm like, what? I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, why they just call about doing something with Dapper Dan and June Ambrose? My mother calls Dapper Dan. They call me on the three-way.
Yeah.
So he's like, so you want to work on that outfit? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I can't believe how big you got. So they got that whole moment on camera. And it was dope. I was able to, the outfit that Devado wore in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the stoning of that. 30,000 stones.
Damn.
Yeah, we did that in literally like less than 5 days. And I was able to not only see the show, but link with Dapper at the show, take pictures, talk to June.
That's amazing.
Work with June. So yeah, that was fire. That was definitely a highlight of my year for sure. That's
Is it on me?
highlight.
It's on you.
Okay, can I skip? Because I don't know who that is.
Don't matter. She know who it is.
Okay, Fatima.
Fatima, Meek Mill stylist, Ray Shrummer. She's another one, like a black stylist, especially that's working in the music industry, that's making a lot of noise right now, for sure.
Okay.
Fabolous.
The young OG. Another one. I worked with Fab recently too. Last year, I worked with him and Rada.
Worked with everybody.
Betrayal.
Like,
Yeah, with Betrayal. But no, I have a great story with Fab. Fab has got me through every breakup. Soul Tape has literally got me through every breakup. So it was really dope to not only meet him, but not too long ago when I saw him, I was able to tell him like, yo, thanks Fab for getting me through them breakups.
Yeah,
That was actually fire. That was fire.
that's cool. Kanye West.
Everything. Yeezy season 3, Adidas, Gemini.
Somebody banging a hammer. Like, what is somebody coming through the wall? Okay.
The ultimate Gemini.
I know I'm getting the fuck out of here as soon as we're done recording. I'll get Me too.
Cut the cameras off when you leave. Fast fashion.
Oh, see, I'm about to say a name. We should.
Redacted.
Y'all about to get me cut. I don't answer this question. I gotta be real. I can't answer it. I can't.
Can't answer it? All right, skip it.
If I answer it, they gonna get me.
I'm gonna ask later what it is. So.
We definitely asking off camera.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna be politically correct today. Well, you know what? Fast fashion, spandex, silk screen, vinyl cutouts, hoodies. Vinyl cutouts, fast fashion.
I don't even know what y'all talking about, but okay.
That was a topic. Fast fashion.
Oh, I thought that was a line.
No.
Okay. I don't do this. Couture.
Couture, I think of Schiaparelli, Dior. I think of Mugler, Alexander McQueen. Couture.
What does the word couture mean exactly?
Couture is almost it's like
If you go on Instagram,
super.
it's like 80 different names.
Yeah, it's like super high fashion. A lot of the time, it's almost borderline art.
Okay.
So a couture, difference between an evening gown and a couture evening gown. An evening gown, might be something sleek with satin or silk. A couture gown is going to have different cutouts and some of the top of the line fabrics and embellishments and jewels and
like the shit that I met.
headpieces. Yeah, drama. That's couture.
Okay.
Anna Wintour.
Devil Wears Prada. Vogue. I think of Front Row. I think of You're Dismissed. That's
You're dismissed.
That's all. That is all.
Law Roach.
Zendaya. I actually had an experience with Law Roach. This is where I always tell people, and this is a fun fact. Always do your research. And I always say this. I got invited to a VH1 paper magazine party about a couple years ago. Kind of when I was just getting started. So I was blessed to be able to be there. And it was at Up and Down in New York, which Up and Down is a big club. So for it to be open at 8 o'clock, that should have been the first red flag. And I'm like, whatever. They invited us to a day party.
Yeah.
So we go, and literally it had to be maybe about 20 people in the whole place. And I'm just sitting there like, this is an ass party. But not realizing who these 20 people are. We're sitting here with the editor-in-chief of Paper Magazine, Mickey Freeman, Drew Spee. And mind you, I'm a huge fan of Law Roach. I had no idea that he had recently lost weight because his profile picture and the pictures he had on Instagram was when he was bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here, networking. Rita Ora was there, everyone. So I'm sitting there making conversation. I see this fabulous guy with a bone straight weave.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm just thinking this is some New York fashion guy. Had no idea that this is Law Roach the entire time. So next time when I got invited, I was able to speak to him. But this was someone that I'm talking about, I've quoted, I know his work, had his work saved, and I.
When you saw him the next time, did you bring up the last time?
Yes. I spoke. Now when I see Law, it's definitely like a hi. I'm at least on the acquaintance where I get the kiss.
Yeah.
I at least get that now. But yeah, for sure. So please always do your research. You never know who you're going to be in the room in. So if this brand, it's a VH1 party or a Revlon or Maybelline Cosmetics, go look on LinkedIn, go on their Instagrams, see who is who, so you're able to recognize them, because you never know. I'm telling you, never know.
You in a small room, an elite company.
Yeah. And I should have, literally, it was 20 people. Rita Ora sitting on the couch, literally just chilling. And I'm just like, so when are we leaving? Where are the people at?
This is trash.
Not even looking at who's around.
The hookah ain't busting.
Right. What's this?
We got a couple more. Jaden Smith.
I'm just an icon living. When I think of Jaden, I definitely see him as a great representation for androgyny. I love his sense of style. For some of my clients, he is one of the inspirations for when they want that type of clean, tailored streetwear look. But yeah, Jaden's hard.
Yeah.
Jaden's hard.
I like that androgyny. That was a nice.
Yeah, because he could wear a skirt but still make it look masculine.
Right.
So he definitely pulls off androgyny and pushing those boundaries very well.
Luka Sabbat.
I think of grownish. I think I kind of G-checked Luka one time. He was being mean, and
he was being a mean girl.
He was being an asshole to my friends, and I had to tell him, I said, "We're from Philadelphia. They will fuck you up real round. So I don't care how much Chief Keef you listen to and your little high heel McQueen, they will beat your ass.
They have hunting knives. They will use them.
Literally. So don't do that. They came for a model casting, and he was just being an asshole. But Luka's cool. Luka's definitely cool.
Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan, I look at Dapper as iconic. I look at him as a family friend. I look at him as one of the originators of what I call it is revamping revamping looks, and I also look at Dapper Dan as the culture. I feel like his influence and the things that he's done has made these fashion houses want to create pieces that are tailored toward black audiences.
Mm-hmm.
2-time reigning world baby father champion, ASAP Rocky.
I love Rocky. I think of Goldie. Rocky's one of the first people that made me want to get girls. So I'll definitely influence. And Rocky too. I would say one thing is a fun story about Rocky. Remember I said I went to that concert, ASAP concert?
Yeah.
I got invited by his manager, and the only song I knew was Pesos. So I'm just coming. I came with stilettos on, the freakum dress, like a Philly girl.
Yeah.
Everybody else got on Timbs, overalls.
You didn't know the vibes.
Had no idea. I learned that.
You think you're going to a Bubba Sparks concert?
And it was the Electric Factory.
Yeah.
So I got stilettos on in a stand-up
room all
yeah.
day. Feet
And
burning.
jumping up but one thing I will say, Rocky showed me artistry. This is when I say when an artist, no matter if a person knows your music or not, if you are a great performer, if you put together a great show, music is so universal that it will bring people together. And that show that he put together, the aesthetic of the show, the how the show transitioned into each other, the lighting, everything, it made me a fan. It made me want to leave and put on his music and research him. And from there, I was locked in. So I would definitely give that to A$AP Rocky. And that's also before he was the big A$AP Rocky. It's when he just had the mixtape.
Right.
So
Long live
yeah.
A$AP.
Yep, long live A$AP. So that was
Yeah, that was
definitely
a moment
fire
in time right there.
Yeah. Purple Kisses, Goldie, all that. That was dope.
Yeah, he changed the game for sure. Pyre Moss.
I think another one, Black Excellence. I was able to go to his show 2 years ago. I think the last show that he showed, and I'm talking about phenomenal, like really one of the best phenomenal experiences I have ever been to. Hands down, one of the best runway shows. He had a choir open up the show and not only sing black hymns, but some of the most iconic black songs from Anita Baker to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, it was just a phenomenal experience. So I think of Pyre Moss. I think Black Excellence. I think top tier. I think the future.
Yeah.
Comes down for sure.
Matt,
So
you got the last.
So it's Pyre Moss?
Pyre.
Pyre Moss.
Yeah.
I was always saying it wrong. Okay. The last one of my most hated things, shark boots.
I think trash.
So it's not just me.
I think Philly uniform, Philly girl uniform, a Fashion Nova dress, a Chanel bag, and a shark boot. That is the uniform.
Somebody had posted a joke was like, damn, the lock on them shark boots really worked. This girl ain't take them off in 4 months. And I'm just like, yo.
It's a padlock.
Goddamn jail lock on them boots.
I hate them damn
But I
boots.
hate them. I absolutely hate them.
That is the Philly girl uniform. It was funny. I had, I think Meek had something at the 4040. So it was a lot of girls from Philadelphia, but there was also a lot of New York. You know, he's both worlds, so it's New York girls. So I was kind of with the New York girls. So we with our different outfits.
Yeah.
And
The New York
I
girls
lobbied
dress
up.
so fly.
Yeah, and we met in the bathroom, and me and the girl really hit it off. We were like, we really had a great time. But when I walked in the room, and you know, I'm late, so I come in late.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the uniform. The uniform. And I call it the uniform for a reason. It is a tight, plain dress, a BBL, a bone straight weave, a Chanel bag, maybe a Balenciaga
damn
bag,
shark boots.
and the shark boots. That was the uniform.
No bullshit.
That
There's so
everybody
many
had.
pictures I see on Instagram where that's really what it is.
And they might have a fur to
A little
compliment
dress,
it.
a Chanel bag, and some fucking shark boots.
Let me ask you this. Are the mini sharks worse than the tall sharks? Or are they equally bad?
Equally bad. Equally. The mini sharks to me, I know what it is because I feel like I'll give them a little bit. If you took a chance to get the mini sharks, you must know how to dress. So you know that you can kind of hook them up a cool way. But the shark boots is the easy go-to. It's on my knee. It's big. It's bold. They can see them. And then everything else is cheap.
Yeah, the mini.
And everything else is
The mini sharks are like the chuckers.
Like, if you do the mini shark, you know how
They're
to
like the
dress.
chuckers of the shark. I'm not a fan of any of them. That's one joint I like. I don't get me wrong, I'm not the fashion person that you should talk to or ask on any of this type of shit. But when I see a shoe that just I've never seen it and was just like, oh, that looks amazing.
I hate it. Yeah.
I always see it and it just feels gaudy and just, ugh.
They took it there for me. I ain't even gonna lie.
They took it there.
And even the boots that look like anywhere near a shark. The R13, I can't even do them either. I'm like, look too much like a shark boot.
Yeah, very fire marshal.
What's the name? Jimmy Choo made like a pant boot this year that was similar to the shark boot.
I've seen that one too. Yeah, nope.
And that one was actually super terrible. That was worse than the other one.
This is what these fashion houses.
I've seen some things, and I'm not the expert on trendy or fashion, but I've seen some things where it's just like, I don't get the hoopla, I don't get the hype.
It is.
And the shark boot is definitely one of the things
it's not even
I saw it and was just like, I don't get it.
See, it's not a hype. It's us.
Come on, in Philly.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying it's us. We make it. So with Philly, and we can speak real quick on Philly culture. It's monkey see, monkey do. Yes. So down to the outfit, down to the barber, down to the brand that you support, the restaurant you go to. You can not like a brand or not really be fond of it, but because everyone else is on that wave, now you want it too. Like, prime example, the situation that happened with Milano, when they had made the big thing about the button-up shirt. Mm-hmm. Now, and I'm not really, big on the Milano brand as far as, like, I wear it personally, but what she did was genius, but it was also lazy. Now, as far as finding a quality blank, H&M sells these blank button-up shirts. They have 3 tiers of H&M Basic when it comes to work outfits and business attire. So there is nowhere that you're going to get a quality button-up shirt for $14. Mm-hmm. Nowhere. I don't care where it is. So she took and we was going to base it off of sampling. So the shirt costs $14 to get it printed on. Now we're just going to say sample prices. To get that Milano printed on probably was $10 because it was in vinyl. Maybe cheaper if she got bulk, but we just going to base it on a sample. So this shirt costs $24 to produce. You want to factor in gas and everything, we're going to round it up to $30. Now, she sold this $30 shirt for, I believe it was $75 or $80.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere around there.
And the people were buying them. Now, when the people found out that it was an H&M shirt as a blank, that's when they got angry. Now, how can you get mad at her? Because she did what was any smart business tactic. I found a quality blank that its value is actually really more than what it's costing me. Mm-hmm. I put my name on it, and y'all liked it. Y'all liked it enough that y'all bought it for $80. Now, what she did wrong was, yes, she should have took the tags out. Now, that's where the laziness came in. The tag should have been taken out. But as far as the quality of the garment, there was nothing wrong with it. You can't get mad at her. You need to be mad at yourself because y'all didn't buy that shirt because you really liked it. Because if you really liked it, you wouldn't have cared that you paid $80 for it. If I really like something, if I like that statue and that statue cost me $400, whether it's a 2x2 statue, I liked it. Right. And I felt good buying it. I don't care if it cost them $3 to make. They did a great job with marketing and making this thing look valuable enough that I would pay $400 for it. So you cannot get mad at her. You got to get mad at yourself because y'all didn't buy that shirt because y'all liked it. Y'all spent $80 for that shirt because it was a wave. Because Milano was popping, you seen other people with it, and y'all wanted to be on the wave too.
Yeah, they wanted the association to a popping brand.
Exactly. And now
and you got to pay for that.
Yeah. And now that you found out that y'all paid double for triple damn near for a $30 or $25 shirt, now you're pissed. Yeah. Now it's get steaks and pitchforks out. No, she made a business that was the proper way to go about that. Yeah. So that's what I see Philly does. We ride these waves because it's popular. Even sometimes when it comes to me, I'm a great stylist, but there are people that have booked me that don't even know my resume, that they have just booked me because, I could say Coi Leray stylist, follow me, or the girl that worked with Meek, she styled me too. And don't get me wrong, at least I'm giving you what you want back. So at least at least you know when you work with me, you're going to
some form of a value exchange.
But God forbid, if I was a shitty stylist that just was, my friend was Meek and I just worked with him all the time, y'all going to take y'all literally. Like, it's crazy. So that's what I would say about Philly culture. We made them shark boots a thing because in certain people's eyes, shark boots, it was associated with status. And I don't care what it is. I might not be able to pay my rent. I might live in the projects. I might be on the bus. But I got them shark boots. And when I wear them out to
I'm Big Shark when I wear them.
Yep, room service, to spades. I'm keeping up with
Shark,
everybody else.
Big Mama Shark with these boots on.
Yep, real bad.
Yeah, those are Jones. I don't like them.
I don't like them either.
This has been an amazing episode, man. We appreciate you so much. You're just magic on a camera, and your answers are phenomenal. Last thing before we go. Yeah, what are some resources people can look into if they want to break into the fashion world, or where should they start?
There's a lot of great resources. One platform is called fashionista.com. If you're ever looking for internships or entry-level positions in the fashion industry, as well as just not for styling and design, but graphics, production, behind the scenes, that's a great place to start.
Yeah.
And they cast a lot or help. They post job listings a lot for New York and LA. Another great resource is Creatively. Creatively is a platform where creatives can actually put up their work and people vote, and you actually can win a $5,000 grant.
Oh, damn.
I was actually one of the grant winners from they give you a grant to actually produce a project.
Oh, damn.
Your own. So
You have to create something, though.
you can put any of your work, or y'all can put your podcast up there. Literally any type of anything that you do, and people is and people can vote on it weekly. And if you win, and maybe normally it takes like 2 times or 3 times to win, they'll give you the grant. And outside of that, they also have a payment system. So let's say that you are working with a label or entity, you can have them do Creatively Pay. So they'll give you your money up front, and they'll collect the payment on the back end from them.
Dope.
And they also have job listings, and their listings go way further than just LA and New York. I'm talking about you want to work for a record label, Atlantic Records, Vogue, anything of those nature, Condé Nast, whatever, Viacom, they have those job listings as well, and it goes straight to the company.
Damn.
So yeah, that's definitely 2. I would definitely say 2 really, really good resources. The next thing I would say is intern. One, and I'm just going to stress this out because this is something I recently dealt with. People, if you are trying to indulge in these fields, if you're trying to indulge in these fields, please, 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 outside of research, if you're going to intern, if you're really going to want to grow in this, you got to have the stamina. You got to put in the work. You gotta be built for it tough. I feel like so many people come in and they, like I said, have these false expectations, and then they're left disappointed.
Right.
Or they jump off right before the kickoff. And that's what's the saddest thing. I had a girl work with me recently, and I'm talking about I seen a lot of promise in her. A lot of promise. She was amazing. I would give it to her. Creatively, an amazing person. But when it came to being able to handle the heat, she couldn't handle the heat. And with people on the outside, when you look on my Instagram, I'm supposed to make it look good.
Yeah, it's the highlight reel.
It's the highlight, yeah. You think I'm supposed to post what happened wrong? I'm supposed to make it look seamless. I'm supposed to make it look like it's easy, but it's not. And one thing I will say is I'm happy that she did come around, so she was able to really see how this works. But I'm disappointed that she kind of cut off her own water without actually staying in the game, because she was just so close.
Yeah.
So that's one of my biggest things. It's like, if you got someone that's willing to seed into you, that's willing to open doors, that's willing to give any opportunity, anything, whether it's even just small advice, really take heed to that. Because I didn't have a Devon Milan, so it was a lot of trial and error,
right?
Hiccups, falling, crawling up. A lot of the things that I did, I had to crawl for a lot of other people to walk. So I really want people to understand that. So that's one of my biggest things. Stay in the game. Get your stamina up. This is the championship. You gotta keep going.
Yeah, when said don't got the stamina. I looked at him and that Eminem shit popped into my head. You don't got the stamina.
Yeah, you need stamina. Real rap.
No, this has been awesome, man. We really appreciate
We
you.
appreciate you. Thank you so much, man. Give all of the people your social media, your websites, any pertinent information they need to do. Potential styling clients. We got rappers and creatives and stuff in our audience that might got some bread for you.
Of course. So you can reach me on all platforms at Devon Milan, DEVON MILAN. You can also, my website is Studio 723. It's also on my bio. So if you click the link in my Instagram bio, I have a link tree that has links to everything from past events to event highlights to my personal website that has my portfolio, as well as my site where you can actually shop and order customs from me. But yeah, I think the next thing I have coming up on this weekend, I'm doing the South by Southwest Film Festival with Brett Gray for Boots Riley's new show, I'm a Virgo.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. And we got some things in the mix, so definitely stay tuned. I'm also doing Tia Corinne, so I'm excited about that also. She'll be here, I believe, next Friday, so check that out at the TLA.
You working, man.
But yeah, Devon Milan. I think Devon Milan Graham on TikTok. I'm getting my TikTok up. So it's Devon Milan Graham on TikTok, and I'm going to start posting more exclusive content on there. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Definitely, man. We appreciate you so much. This has been magical. Don't be surprised if you see clips circulating, people get mad at you. My bad. Realest Podcast 7, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/official TRPE. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube, youtube.com/@TRPE. Official TRP on all platforms. For Chad, Matt, and Big Dan, we out of here.
See ya.